In this video, I will be showing how to make mixed media bookmarks and art cards that have quotes on them. So I'm going to start with a bookmark, and I've got a piece of mixed media paper cut in the shape of a bookmark, and I've got some watercolor paint and also some acrylic paint. So I'm going to start with a little bit of watercolor and start creating my background. And I do like to work on several things at one time while some things dry. So while this dries, I'm going to grab another card, and this is going to be a card where I write a quote on it. So now I'm just getting out different colors of paint, and I do like to use paper or foam plates to put the paint on. It has a lot of room for different colors. So this is what I'm going for. So I've painted some of the background, and then I'm gonna splatter some water on to the paint and let that sit for about a minute. And then I'm gonna come back to the bookmark. So I'm gonna add some paper, some collage paper to the bookmark. And I'm gonna start doing a border first. I'm gonna kind of just go around the edges and adding a different color. And then I'm actually going to use the bookmark to pull away some of the paint from the art card. So it's been sitting there for about a minute with the water on it, and I'm just gonna lay the bookmark face down onto it and then pull away. So that kind of gives it a cool design on the bookmark and also on the card. And I'm taking that little collage piece of paper and just cutting it down. So now I'm just gluing the little piece of collage paper onto the bookmark. And the glue that I'm using is Tacky Glue, but you can also just use regular school glue like Elmer glue or even glue sticks. And then I'm just gonna paint a little bit on the collage paper. It gives it a nice texture and a nice look to have part paper and part paint. So I'm gonna let that dry a little bit, and then I'm going back to the card. You can see where there are little circles with the white background. So I'm taking a light color and painting over it, and then I'm just gonna kind of blot some of it out to help it blend in. And then I'm gonna paint those edges a different color than what I painted the middle part. And then now I'm gonna do another technique that I like to do, where I place some paint onto a scrap piece of paper, not too thick, and then I'm going to put it face down onto the card and then just pull it back up. So that's almost like a stamping or like printmaking technique, and I like it because it leaves a lot of space where there's not the red paint. So now I'm back to the bookmark, and now I'm gonna just add little circles and just little designs in random parts of the bookmark on the background. And then now I'm gonna add some words. And so one of the reasons I wanted to start making bookmarks myself is because I do like creating stuff as it is, at least with art. But also I love to read, and I noticed that I was having to fold down the corners in my books a lot. So also on this bookmark, I wrote no more creased corners, so it's very fitting. And then I'm also using a push pin, although I would recommend using a pair of scissors or something else to put a piece of twine at the top. You can also do ribbon or yarn. So that's my little bookmark. Just adding a few more little designs on there. So I'm done with that, and then I'm going back to the art card. And here I'm just going to be making random designs as well, just to kind of give the colors that are already on it a little bit of a pop. And then I'm also going to write a quote on here. And I'm using blue marker to write the quote, but then I also am going to use white paint over the marker. And since the background is a dark color, I'm going to use white paint. Another good thing to use to write something on these cards over paint is acrylic paint markers. Those are usually a lot easier to use if you feel like you don't have good handwriting, or if you feel like your hand can get kind of shaky, which sometimes happens to me. But if I kind of write really quickly with the paintbrush, I can usually get it to look pretty decent. And then now I'm just adding a few more squiggles and dots in white, red, and blue. And this is a quote by Ram Dass. So I'm going to do another bookmark now. And so now I'm just looking through all of my collage paper and old book pages. What I'm going to do here is create a bookmark that is mostly paper but also has some marker, as opposed to the other one I did, which was mostly paint. So if you don't have access to paint, you can use things like old book pages, pages from magazines, different pieces of collage paper, and you can just start gluing things onto a piece of paper in different areas. And so I like for things to kind of be off center. I also am going to have the paper going on both sides, so I'm filling up both sides of the bookmark. So I'm going to have some of the papers fold over to the other side. And I'm using my trusty old credit card to distribute the glue evenly. I'm just grabbing different pieces of paper. And I don't really think too hard about where I'm going to place the paper. I just try to think about maybe where I'm going to layer it, or whether or not I'm going to layer it, and how much I need to cut or fold over. And so for this one, I'm also going to fold it over. Sometimes when you have the edges sticking out, you can either cut them or just fold them over. And I like to do both, just depending on how it looks when I try to fold it over. If I don't like how it looks, then I'll just cut it off. Right here I'm folding a lot of it over on the back, and then I'm gonna cover where the folds are with another piece of paper. So again, I'm just picking up different pieces of paper, placing them in different areas on the bookmark. And I really like using book pages, even though I'm just going to use small pieces, but I think it's fitting since it's a bookmark. And this little piece is representing the 505, which is New Mexico, which is where I'm from. So I definitely, when I saw that little piece of paper, I definitely wanted to hold on to it because I knew I wanted to use it. And then now I'm taking my chalkboard markers and I'm filling in different areas on the bookmark. A lot of times I use permanent markers or acrylic paint markers, but I did find some chalkboard markers on sale and I thought I would try them out on paper, and they work really well. They have a lot of different bright colors. I'm just going to draw different designs now. And I'm also going to add some words to the side. And then for this top part, I'm going to end up also folding it over. Even though I'm cutting the side edges, I am going to fold it over the top, so it covers the top on both sides of the bookmark. And then I'm just using marker again to fill in different places. And also, again, I like to use marker to draw on the paper, the collage paper, if there are parts that look like they can be filled in. Fill in some more places, and then I'm going to add a few more words. A few more designs, just some lines. So I did end up covering the designs I did on the back originally, but it's a process, it happens. So these are the two bookmarks. I tied the top of the twine so it wouldn't go all over the place. That's it. And I hope that you enjoyed these art cards and bookmarks. And stay tuned for more upcoming videos for the project These Colors Within.